is this just fantasy? I mean, we all know the answer to that at this point. This is Conan the Barbarian #6 by Titan Comics. Got the J. Lee cover here. I guess it's cover A. All these variant covers. It's just a thing now, I guess. And we all have to live with it. But anyway, so let's get into it. This is our second issue with at least a new artist, not a new writer or creative team, but like a new artist. So we still have Jim Zub writing here. And, I mean, this issue, as well as the last one, is leaning very heavily into his relationship with the Pirate Queen, Belit, and specifically that they were hot and heavy and were very happy together, and then she died, and in a horrible way, and he's still coming to terms with it. So here we have another memory here of them together. Can't tell if he's wearing pants. He might be. Is he wearing pants? I mean, she's not clearly, but is he? And also I do like, we get a little highlight in the map of where this particular story will be taking place. And yes, yeah, we have our, just memories. Yeah, really gnarly, like really dramatic lighting here on this panel. I really like it. And then what I love is that it's talking about like what can you know about, I guess, the realm of the gods or the afterlife or what have you. And something that I find interesting is flash into this particular thing right here, which is, within such tragedy, the Cimmerian was given proof of something more. Proof of spirit, strength, raw, and elemental. So I'm guessing her spirit is fighting, or Belit's spirit is fighting this, whatever it is. I don't know, but it's a cool panel. It's a cool scene. And, maybe I'm just revealing that I'm not 100% expert on the histories of Conan. Maybe I should know this, or maybe this is something new. I don't know. But anyways, I like the design of this creature. It's cool. Or demon, or whatever it is. But now we cut back to where our Cimmerian is now, which is, we are still on that heist that they were hatching last issue. So last issue, the big reveal was that the item that they were trying to acquire is a chunk of the statue that spawned the Black Tower and all of the zombies and whatever from the last story arc. So this is basically picking up right where that left off, and there are these spirits, ghosts, I don't know, that seem to be able to harm them, like affect them with cold. I don't know, the ghosts look cool, of course. And yeah, Doug Braithwaite is doing his work here. He's got an exciting scene here to depict. And what I find interesting is, like they're trying to, like, these ghosts appear when they try to steal this thing, and like there's the piece right there. And I was definitely very curious, like, how are they gonna get out of this? And Conan's like just swinging a sword. It's all he knows how to do. They're like sticking their hands into these people, and it's just not looking good. And then one of the team members has silver powder, and the silver really does not agree with these ghosts. And I guess that's like, I mean, I don't know if it's part of any of our world's mythology when it comes to spirits and such. I know that salt is seen as anathema to ghosts and demons and whatnot. So honestly, they could have done that. But I guess silver is just, I don't know why they would pick silver if they could have gone with salt, or maybe there is specific mythology that says that silver is good against evil spirits. Don't know, but they apparently have enough silver to cast at these things to escape. And good for them. But then, yes, they finally they make their way out of the room amongst the ghosts. They seem to dissipate, but then they enter this big room full of guards because they are still in the tower of the, I guess, Temple of Thieves, or the God of Thieves, and a bell, I think, is the God of Thieves. I think I was recently made aware of that. Basically, they got to fight their way through, and Conan's just living his best life, cutting these motherfuckers up. And a nice little double page spread here. And again, it's interesting because last issue we had like a doubles page spread that was not on the center page. And while this folds out nicely, I'm just thinking of the trade. I have the trade for some reason in my head, or maybe even a hardback in the future, and just this being a scene that we won't, like, we would miss some stuff in the middle there. It's just something I think about. I don't know, but yeah, he's really, he's good at balancing all of these figures. Nice, and the colorist is doing their work, and similar to last issue, I still feel like I would prefer a different color, just a different coloring style. Not even that this is bad. This is obviously not bad. It's just I would prefer something different. That's my thing. But yeah, Conan's carving his way through these guys, and completely ignoring the fact that the ghosts are back, and he's got to make his way out of here. And yes, the ghosts are taunting him because they are aware that he has had contact with this evil thing before. But I just love that Conan's taken all these guys by himself. So I guess to show off his prowess. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because this is a very common approach to action sequences that I notice in a lot of comics. It's just a mad brawl, a fight scene that doesn't have choreography, I'll say. There's not a whole lot of thought to panel to panel, moment to moment, like he swings here but he blocks here, and then he does this, and then he strikes there. There's not really any of that. It's just he's mobbing them, and that's all we need to know. And that's efficient for sure, but I don't know, part of me kind of just would like to see a little bit of fight choreography is all, because I love doing that as an artist. But yes, they are bedeviling him, and yet they sense something in him. And so yes, they're making their way out, they're escaping, and then trying to claim their reward. But this creep that hired them, he can tell that there's something missing in Tarum's touch. That there's some sort of that the thing that he wants out of it is not there, and I guess it's some element of evil. But Conan intimidates him into paying, but he sees something in Conan, and it could be the evil of whatever entity is possessing this stone. I do like that we are tying this in with the first story arc. So the story arcs aren't just one-offs, they're building, and I like that. I'm a fan. And then yes, Conan gets to what he wants to do. He's drinking, and he's whoring, and he's doing all the things, and he's just trying to forget that he has lost someone important to him. And also, yeah, great transition here from like, what are you gonna do with your share? And boom, all these dudes drinking and such. Again, nice panel. Like that this is somebody's like boot right here, I think. Yes, and then yeah, I guess the thief or whatever, the fellow thief, is kind of making eyes at him and has been, and so they go for it, but then suddenly she turns a bit creepy and is coming for him, like seemingly possessed by something. So that's it. I went through it pretty breezily, but that's because it is a pretty breezy read, and this is just building off of a lot of the setup from the first issue, which I would think so. This one moves at a pretty good pace, and I think that the captions aren't too overdone. They add a lot of flavor text, but they also they tell you things that you can't just see. They fill in the gaps, and I appreciate that about it. I also appreciate Jim Zup's restraint, because there's some writers that just can't not have unnecessary captions or redundant captions, and I really appreciate this variation. And yeah, so yeah, I think it's a nice issue. I think it's continuing the I think the pace and the feel of the Conan comic so far, and I think the writer and artist are working well together. So that is Conan issue 6. What do you think? Is this a series that you're staying up to date with? If not, I mean, why not? Is it the art doesn't suit you, the story doesn't suit you, the price point doesn't suit you, whatever. But anyways, I've been enjoying it. I'm going to continue. I think a new issue's coming out pretty soon, and I'm interested in seeing what happens next. So thank you for checking this out with me, and if you have some extra time, you should check out my comic, Sidequesters, which is a fantasy adventure with kind of this odd couple buddy cop story about a straight-laced warrior having to team up with this kind of wild and unpredictable lizard man. And it's a lot of fun, and it's the thing I'm most proud of. This volume collects the first 8 issues, or the first complete story arc. And if you like that, or you're interested in kind of more short stories, I have my Haxan anthologies. Each one is about 60 pages of fantasy short stories dealing with witchcraft and sorcery and all kinds of things like that. And I am interested in seeing what some of y'all might think of them. And you can read all of this on Global Comics, and you can buy these from my website. And if you also like superhero-y stuff, I also have my webcomic 3-panel origin, and this collects the first 3 years of comics. I'm in year 9 of it, if you can believe that. And it's basically kind of like The Tick in tone, and I create a character and tell their origin in 3 panels, and it's a lot of fun. And this is a set of short stories dealing with some of those characters. And yeah, if you like silly superhero stuff, this is for you. Thank you very much. And hope you have somebody in your life that looks at you the way Conan is looking at Belit.